Welcome back. We are thinking about main idea or central idea, and we're going to use the who and what strategy. Now, already in class, you've had a chance to kind of use this who and what strategy to tell me what a painting is mostly about, right? The who, most likely these are Marines since they're kind of getting on the shore first, right? Who, the Marines, are what? Taking the shore of an island that presumably the Japanese are defending. That's why we see all the sprays of bullets everywhere, right? So who, Marines, what are taking back an island in the Pacific theater, right? Who, Marines, what they're doing in that painting there. We're going to get a little more exact now that we've had a chance to read a full chapter, and that is these are all some of the central ideas in these chapters 14 and 15. Naming. Names and nicknames have significance, meaning, and are used for different positive and negative purposes, right? For instance, maybe there'll be a little something that's a name for Marines. There's a sort of a negative sounding but positive for Marines nickname. What could that be, right? We've also got connecting. People have an impulse to connect with others in challenging times like war. Is there any time that people are connecting, right? Perhaps Navajo to Navajo, perhaps Marine to Marine, right? Next, mistreatment. Throughout human history and around the world, people have discriminated against and mistreated people who are different from them, right? In war, it's somewhat understandable, right? When people are mistreated because they've been trying to murder someone else, right? On the battlefield, right? Or think about some of the stuff around the dead. Perhaps that'll be it. Perhaps not. And finally, culture. One's culture can serve as a source of pride and strength, right? And we see there is a Navajo burial ritual going, uh, 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 a Navajo burial going on in this picture here, right? So please take a moment and match the pictures to the four different big ideas, central ideas that are coming out of this book so far. Take the time to do so now. All right. So please repeat after me. We are still thinking about the who and what strategy. Ready? Who and what? Central idea. Who and what? Central idea. Okay. So now we have some little supporting details from the book that can match up with these central ideas here on the right: naming, connecting, mistreatment, and culture. I'd like you to go ahead and everybody find the pink. Find the pink. All right? Find the pink. Now, which do you think it goes with? Naming, connecting, mistreatment, or culture? During training, it had sometimes seemed as if I was going to fight monsters, not human beings. Well, it seems to me that this might go with mistreatment, right? We're getting something very different than what the Bible might tell us to do when treating with others. Even though there are our enemies in World War II, right? They're not all the same, especially after you meet the villagers in the chapter The Enemies, right? So mistreatment might be a good place for pink, but if you can explain why it goes somewhere else, that very well might work as well. Everybody, please take the time. Um, Grab blue, even in some sad cases, to share a foxhole for a whole night with a slain comrade. Which one do you think that should go with? Naming, connecting, mistreatment, or culture? Take the time to do so now. Hope you matched it well. Let's take a moment and think about green. Everyone called that plane Washing Machine Charlie, Sam said. Which one should green go to? Please find a time to connect that now. Finally, we have white. All right. Grandchildren, our Navajo tradition tells us that we must avoid the bodies of those who have died, and a bad spirit sometimes remains around the corpse. Go ahead and match that up, please. All right. So you should have blue, green, and white all matched up on the right hand side of those different ideas. And then on this left-hand side, I'd now like you to make an adjustment. Perhaps you've changed your mind about which picture should go with which. But I'd now like you to match these pictures to each of these central ideas that goes with these little quotes as well. For instance, down here it says, during training, it had sometimes seemed as if I was going to fight monsters, not human beings. Well, here's an army of monsters from Lord of the Rings. So I'm going to put that right there. They seem to match up pretty well. Please take the time to match up all the pictures to all the central ideas and quotes, and to do that now, please. Excellent. And then finally, just put central idea right there at the top, because that's what we're talking about this whole time.